Sudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chair Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Udhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhavita Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila chapter 8 talks between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. Text 290 onwards. Gupte Rakhila Kahana Kariya Prakasha Amara Batul Cheshta Loke Upahas. The Lord then requested Ramananda Rai, keep all these talks a secret. Please do not expose them anywhere and everywhere. Since my activities appear to be like those of a madman, people may take them lightly and laugh. Well, apparently he did not keep them secret because they are part of this book now. But he must have told Sarup Damodar Goswami, and who told Raghunath Das Goswami, and who told Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. So now we are able to read these talks and relish those talks. Ami ek batul tumi dvitiya batula ater to maya maya hai samatula. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, indeed, I am a madman and you are also a madman. Therefore, we are on the same platform. So all these conversations between Ramananda Rai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appear ludicrous to a common man who's not a devotee. The entire world is filled with material conceptions, and people are unable to understand these conversations due to the conditioning of mundane philosophy. Those who are overly attached to mundane activities cannot understand the ecstatic conversations between Ramananda Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Consequently, the Lord requested that Ramananda Rai keep all these conversations secret and not expose them to the general populace. If one is actually advanced in Krishna consciousness, he can understand these confidential talks. Otherwise, they appear crazy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore informed Ramananda Rai that they both appeared like madmen and were there on the same, therefore on the same platform. So madmen mean they are madly in love with Krishna. They don't care for any material happiness, material opulence, or anything. They only care for Krishna Prem. So common people cannot understand. And it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyami. Yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyato me. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-control. And the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. Sometimes Krishna consciousness appears just like a type of madness to mundane people. Just as the activities of mundaners are considered a form of madness by Krishna conscious men. So sometimes, not just sometimes, most of the time, our activities appear like type of madness to mundane people. Why do you have to get up at so early in the morning? 3:30 you get up, 4 o'clock you get up. Why you have to go for Mangala Aarti at 4:30? I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody has heard so many arguments on this. Is Krishna going to be happy? Only happy if you go at 4:30. He won't be happy if you go at 8 o'clock. Why you have to chant so many times? Why is he not happy with one chanting? It's just crazy. It goes on and on. People just cannot understand. And that's why I give the example of Rasgulla. I ask people, okay, have you tasted Rasgulla? Yes. So explain me, what's the taste of Rasgulla like? So they all say, oh, it's spongy. So I say, anything spongy is rasgulla? No. Oh, it is sweet. Well, gulab jamun is also sweet. But I am asking you, what's the taste of rasgulla like? So they try 2, 3 times and they all give up. How do you explain the taste of rasgulla? So I said, the taste of rasgulla is known by a person who tastes it. You cannot explain it. So until you taste these activities that we do, how can I explain it to you? What kind of pleasure it gives? But still, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Ei rupa dasharatri Ramananda sange sukhe gonaila Prabhu Krishna katharange. For 10 nights, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramanand Rai spent a happy time discussing the pastimes of Krishna. Nigud Vrajera Ras Lila Ravichara Aneka Kahila Tar Napaila Par. The conversations between Ramanand Rai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu contain the most confidential subject matters, touching the conjugal love between Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan, Brajapur. Although they talked at great length about these pastimes, they could not reach the limit of discussion. That's how confidential and how sweet these pastimes are. Tama Kansa Rupa Sona Ratna Chintaman Keha Yadi Kaha Pota Paye Ek Kha. Actually, these conversations are like a great mine where from a single place one can extract all kinds of metals, copper, bell, metal, silver, and gold, and also touchstone, the basis of all metals. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives the following summary of the conversations between Ramanand Rai and Sri Chaitanya. Ramanand Rai replied to 5 questions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and these questions and their replies are recorded in the verses 57 through 67. The final answer is compared to copper. The first answer compared to copper, the second to a better metal, bell metal, the third to a still better metal, silver, and fourth to the best metal of all, gold. But the fifth answer is compared to the most valuable gem, touchstone, because it deals with unalloyed devotion, the ultimate goal of devotional life, and eliminates the preceding 4 subordinate answers. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur points out that in Brajbhumi there is the Yamuna river with its sandy banks. There are Kadamba trees, cows, Krishna sticks with which he herds cows, and Krishna's flute. All of these belong to Shantaras, the mellow of neutrality in devotion service. There are also the direct servants of Krishna, such as Chitrak, Patrak, and Raptak. And these are the embodiments of service in the mellow of servitude. There are also friends like Sridhama and Sudama, who embody service in fraternity. Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda are the embodiments of parental love. Above all of these are Srimati Radharani and her assistants, the Gopis, Lalita, Vishakha, and others, who embody conjugal love. In this way, all 5 mellows, Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya, exist eternally in Brajbhumi. They also compare respectively to copper, belt metal, silver, gold, and touchstone, the basis of all metals. Srila Kaviraj Goswami therefore refers to a mine eternally existing in Vrindavan or Brajbhumi. So this is the mine, and their talks compared to mine where one can extract all kinds of metals. Bhaktivinoda Thakur compared them differently, and Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj compared them differently. क्रमे उठाइते से उत्तम वस्तु पाए आइछे प्रश्न उत्तर कैला प्रभु राम राय. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramanand Rai worked like miners, excavating all kinds of valuable metals, each one better than the other. The questions and answers are exactly like that. Aradin Rai Pashe Vidaye Magila Vidayera kale tare yagyati. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu begged Ramanand Rai to give him permission to leave. And at the time of farewell, the Lord gave him the following orders. Vishaya chadiya tumi yaha nila chale, ami tirtha kari taha ashiva alpakale. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, give up all material engagements and come to Jagannath Puri. I will return there very soon after finishing my tour and pilgrimage. So Mahaprabhu told him, so give up everything, just come to Jagannath Puri. दुई जन नीला चले रहिबा एक संगे सुखे गुणाइबा काल कृष्ण कथा रंगे. The two of us shall remain together at Jagannath Puri and happily pass our time discussing Krishna. Etavali Ramanand kari alingan tare ghare pathaiya karila shayan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Sri Ramanand Rai, and after sending him back to his home, the Lord took rest. Prata kale uthi Prabhu dekhi Hanuman tare namaskari Prabhu dakhine karila prayan. After rising from bed the next morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the local temple where there was a deity of Hanuman. After offering him obeisances, the Lord departed for South India. Means he further went to South India. In almost all the cities and towns of India, there are temples of Hanumanji, the eternal servant of Lord Ramchandra. There is even a temple of Hanuman near Govindji temple in Vrindavan. Formerly, this temple was in front of the Gopalji temple, but the Gopalji deity went to Odisha to remain as Sakshi Gopal. Being the eternal servant of Lord Ramchandra, Hanumanji has been respectfully worshipped for many hundreds and thousands of years. Here even Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set the example in showing how one should offer respects to Hanumanji. So although Hanumanji is served or respected as eternal servant of Lord Ram, but those who want to serve him as a demigod, they can also serve him as a demigod. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, see, he did not say, oh no, it's a demigod, I'm not going to go inside with him. He went, took darshan of Hanumanji. So there's nothing wrong in showing respects to the demigods. They're all on a higher position than we are. We just don't need to be fanatic. That's all. And how much service Hanumanji has done for Lord Ram, we all know that. We can pray to him to give us some of that mood of that service that he has done. Vidyapure Nana Mata Loka Vaishayata Prabhu Darshane Vaishnav Haila Chadini Chamata. All the residents of Vidyanagar were of different faiths, but after seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they abandoned their own faiths and became Vaishnavas. Ramananda Haila Prabhu Virahe Vivala Prabhu Dhyane Rahe Vishay Chadiya Sakala. When Ramanand Rai began to feel separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was overwhelmed. Meditating on the Lord, he gave up all his material business. Sankshepe kahilu Ramanandera Milana Vistari Varnite Nare Sahasravadana. I have briefly described the meeting between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramanand Rai. No one can actually describe this meeting exhaustively. It is even impossible for Lord Sheshnath, who has thousands of hoods. This is how how wonderful this meeting and the conversation is between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramanand Rai. Sahaje Chaitanya Charitra Ghan Dubd Pura Ramananda Charitra Tahe Khanda Prachura. The activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are like condensed milk, and the activities of Ramanand Rai are like large quantities of sugar candy. Radha Krishna Lila Tate Karpura Milan Bhagyavan Yehi Sehi Kare Aswadan. The meeting is exactly like a mixture of condensed milk and sugar candy. When they talk of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, camphor is added. One who tastes this combined preparation is most fortunate. So we can only imagine what kind of preparation that would be. Yeha ekvar piye karna dware, tar karna lobhe yeha chadite na pare. This wonderful preparation has to be taken orally, karna dware. If one takes it, he becomes greedy to relish it even further. Rasa tattva jnana hai iha rashravani, prema bhakti hai radha krishnera charani. By hearing the talks between Ramanand Rai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one becomes enlightened with the transcendental knowledge of the mellows of Radha and Krishna's pastimes. Thus one can develop unalloyed love for the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Chaitanera Gura Tattva Jani Haite Vishwas Kari Shuna Tarkana Kari Hachite. The author requests every reader to hear these talks with faith and without argument. By studying them in this way, one will be able to understand the confidential truth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Alokik Lila hi paramani gura, Vishwase paye tarke ay bahudura. This part of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes is most confidential. One can derive benefit quickly only by faith. Otherwise, by arguing, one will always remain far away. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Charana Yahara Sarvasvatare Mile Dhana. He who has accepted as everything the lotus feet of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu can attain this transcendental treasure. So there is no other way except by surrendering, by taking shelter of lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu. One cannot make progress. Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that Krishna is obtainable for the faithful. But for those who are accustomed to argue, Krishna is far, far away. So there is a difference between argument and questions. So one can question, one can ask for clarifications, but argument, then one doesn't have faith. So why Krishna has to show himself to that person? He doesn't have to. Similarly, these talks between Ramanand Rai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can be understood by a person who has firm faith. Those who are not in the disciplic succession, the Ashrota Panthis, cannot have faith in these talks. They're always doubting and engaging in mental concoctions. These talks cannot be understood by such whimsical people. Transcendental topics remain far, far away from those engaged in mundane arguments. In this regard, the Vedic mantras in the Katha Upanishad says, Naisha tarkena matir apaneya proktana yenev sugyanaya preshta. In all Vedic literatures declare that transcendental subjects cannot be understood simply by argument or logic. Spiritual masters are far above experimental knowledge. Only by Krishna's mercy can one who is interested in his transcendental loving affairs understand them. So without Krishna's mercy, one cannot understand his topics and his pastimes. If one tries to understand these transcendental topics simply by using one's material brain substance, the attempt will be futile. Whether one is a Prakrit Sahaja or a mundane opportunist or a scholar, one's labor to understand these topics by mundane means will ultimately be frustrated. One therefore has to give up all mundane attempts to try to become a pure devotee of Lord Vishnu. When a devotee follows a regulative principle, the truth of these talks will be revealed to him. When a devotee follows the regulative principles, the truth of these talks will be revealed to him. We cannot understand them. They will be revealed. This is confirmed in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved graham indriya. Sevan mukhe hi jivvadu swayam eva sfuratiyata. One cannot understand the Lord's holy name, pastimes, form, qualities, or entourage with one's blunt material senses. However, when the senses are purified by the constant rendering of service, the spiritual truth of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna is revealed from within. So service is very important. As confirmed in Mundak Upanishad, Yam evasya vrinute tena labhyas. Only one who is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead can understand the transcendental features of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that favor, that mercy will come based on our service, loving devotional service. Ramananda Rai Mora Koti Namaskara, Jara Mukhe Kaila Prabhu Rasera Vistara. I offer 10 million obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Ramananda Rai, because from his mouth much spiritual information has been expanded by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Damodara Swarupera Kadcha Anusare Ramananda Mila Nila Karila Prachare. I have tried to preach the pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's meeting with Ramanand Rai in accordance with the notebooks of Sri Swarup Damodar. At the end of every chapter, the author admits the value of the disciplic succession. He never claims to have written this transcendental literature by carrying out research work. He simply admits his indebtedness to the notes taken by Swarup Damodar, Raghunath Das Goswami, and other authoritative persons. This is the way of writing transcendental literatures, which are never meant for so-called scholars and research workers. The process is Mahajano Yena Gata Sapanta. One has to strictly follow great personalities and acharyas. One who has the favor of the acharya knows everything. This statement made by Kaviraj Goswami is very valuable for all pure devotees. Sometimes the Prakrit Sahajas claim that they have heard the truth from their Guru. But one cannot have transcendental knowledge simply by hearing from a Guru who is not bona fide. Means we have to learn from a bona fide Guru, one who comes in disciplic succession. The Guru must be bona fide, and he must have heard from his own bona fide Guru. Then only then will his message be accepted as bona fide. And this is what Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita. The Supreme Lord said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. So in this way, the message is transmitted in the form of, in the bona fide spiritual disciplic succession, from spiritual master to bona fide student. Srila Kaviraj Goswami, therefore, as usual, concludes this chapter by reasserting his faith in the lotus feet of the six Goswamis. Thus, he is able to set forth this transcendental literature, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Jara Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. So, long chapter, 313 shlokas. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, 8th chapter, describing the talks between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. So there also we conclude our classes till I come back from India, because next chapter has many words, 300 some verses, and I cannot complete them before I leave. And moreover, we all have to celebrate Diwali, Dhanteras, Vaitu, so many festivals. So you all enjoy the festivals, and I'll see you in India very soon. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. Any questions or comments?
So, Prabhuji, we will not have class till Diwali?
Till I come back from India.
From tomorrow onwards.
Yeah, no more class. This is the last class.
Okay.
I think in January we'll resume.
Yeah,
It'll
looks
be
like.
close.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to have finished the chapter.
No, it's okay, Prabhuji. Should also enjoy your Kartik.
Yeah, I want to do some things. Chalo, theek hai. So all have a safe and
Okay. Thank
wonderful
you,
day.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Happy
Jai Shri
Diwali.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you.